We have a very special guest and everyone wants to hear from him. Mr. Arish Sharma, who's the chief of the CoWIN application, and he's also the chairman of the Empowered Panel on COVID vaccination. Mr. Sharma, good afternoon, and sorry for the little bit of a delay in the beginning. We had some trouble getting across. But first of all, Mr. Sharma, congratulations on the vaccination drive. Many people, over 12 crore Indians have received the vaccination, and everyone now is looking forward to the next phase of the vaccine rollout for all adults, everyone above the age of 18. Why don't you tell our viewers, Mr. Sharma, about the plan ahead and how you will now proceed with the next phase?
Well, thank you very much for having me on your channel. From 1st of May, Government of India, as you know, has announced a new policy, which means that people, with 18 years plus will be able to get vaccinated at designated centers. The Government of India will continue to provide free vaccination to people of 45 years plus as before. So that will continue from 1st May onwards also. But now what we are doing is that we are upgrading the CoWIN platform to get the registration of the people of 18 years plus. And that will start in 48 hours. We will start the registration of people with 18 years plus. However, they will be able to get the appointment only from 1st of May onwards. And we are requesting all the facilities which are going to provide vaccination for 18 years plus to register on the CoWIN platform, so that they can publish their timetables and schedules and people can make bookings accordingly.
Okay, so Mr. Sharma, what I'll do is I'll ask you some of the questions that people have on their minds. I, for one, have a few questions, and I think these are some of the questions, basic questions that people will have on how they can register, how they can, get that vaccine. Question number one.
I'm sorry, your voice is a little slow. Can you kind of increase the volume, please?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I was saying that I will try and ask you as many questions as possible. These are some of the what we call the FAQs on vaccination, and you can answer some of them. It's a very informative show. First question: how can adults register on the CoWIN app, portal, and Arogya Setu?
Well, the adults of 18 years plus will be able to register on CoWIN as also on Arogya Setu within the next 48 hours, and they will be able to register as before, which is basically using their mobile phone and getting an OTP and creating their account and then making registrations thereon.
Okay. Do you have to register? Another question that is coming in is, do you have to register on these apps for government? That is, if you want to get the vaccination at a government center or at a private hospital, do you have to go through this app?
For the registration purposes, it's not necessary to go through this app, because now the industrial establishments can also buy vaccine directly from the manufacturers, and they may be doing vaccination for their own people, for their own employees, etc. And for that, they don't have to open this platform for public registration, which is all right. However, wherever you have hospitals or facilities giving vaccination to people from public at large, they will have to publish their timetable so that people can make appointments on those facilities. That's number one. However, so therefore, as you will see, registration is not necessary for everybody, for every facility. However, it is preferable, because we would prefer that on 1st of May and thereafter, when you have people of 18 years plus also included, it should not result into huge amount of a stampede or crowd at the centers, violating the COVID appropriate behavior. And therefore, we will say that it's better for people to get registered, get appointment, and then proceed to these centers.
Okay. The other question that some of our viewers had was about the rollout plan of vaccines. The interval between the doses, will it be the same as the previous phases for 65 plus and the 45 plus?
Well, that's not a question which I can answer
Yes.
honestly, because that's beyond my remit. That's a medical question, more or less. So, but whatever be the policy, CoWIN will be able to implement those policies. So, if the policy is to have some vaccine after 6 weeks, we will be able to send SMSs or messages to the persons concerned that now your 6 week is about to be completed, and therefore please get the second jab. So that part we will be able to do. However, I will not be able to answer specific questions relating to the gap between various types of vaccines.
Okay, another question coming in. How are you dealing with or coordinating with states on the supply of vaccines for the drive?
Again, that question is not really within my remit. I am responsible for the digital backbone of and the CoWIN platform.
Okay.
So I will not be able to respond to the question relating to logistics or supply chain movement and other related issues.
Okay, so let me just tell our viewers a little bit about how simple this entire process is, because I just tried opening the Arogya Setu app and it's pretty simple, fairly seamless, the entire interface on the Arogya Setu app. If you click on the vaccination tab right on top, it shows you the tab where you can enter your mobile number. So I'll just do that. And we'll just show you on live TV how simple or seamless this is. So it then gives you the option of getting that OTP. And when I click on the OTP, I get the OTP. I'm going to put that OTP in. And once I do that, proceed to verify. It gives you more options. And the different options are, I'll just read out from here. It gives you the option of photo ID card type that you will bring to the vaccination center. So it's very simple. It gives you the option of selection of Aadhaar card, driving license, PAN card, passport, pension passbook, NPR smart card, a voter ID. So it's pretty seamless. And then it gives you it asks you for your photo ID number. You can punch that in, or it also asks you for the beneficiary name as per the photo ID card. So be careful to ensure that you put your full name there. It asks you for your gender, male, female, others, year of birth. And once you submit that, it's as simple or as seamless as that. And according to the details available, it also gives you the option of choosing the vaccination center. Now, give us a few stats about how much of traffic you've been seeing on these portals. That is both the CoWIN portal, the app, and also Arogya Setu. Mr. Sharma.
Well, just to give you an idea, on an average, last week we were doing about, more than 3 million per day, which means that the certificates being issued by our platform per day was about 3 million. Then, of course, we were recording these events of vaccination. Then, of course, about 10 crore people have registered on our platform. So I think it's a pretty good traffic which is happening, which has happened thus far. We also expect that from May 1st onwards, when you open it up for 18 years plus, the number of people who will register on our platform and also the number of jabs per day will increase. So we are upgrading and we are ensuring that there is no sort of waiting time to use our platform. We, as you demonstrated just now, we have made the platform absolutely people-centric and easy for people to use. No complications therein, and even at the time of vaccination, when people verify your identity, the process is also extremely simple. It doesn't take more than a minute per person to do so.
Okay, so Mr. Sharma, how much of traffic are you expecting? How many people are you expecting, and are you prepared for the surge of users and those who want to sign up for this vaccine drive?
We are absolutely prepared for the surge. As far as the expected numbers are concerned, I can't really give you a figure, but I'm sure in one day we will expect, let's say, 60-70 lakh people to register on our platform every day. That's the expectation I have. More than that, probably.
You know, what happens also is, Mr. Sharma, in the middle of all of, battling the pandemic, looking at the vaccine drive, people often don't see the scale of this entire exercise that India is undertaking. It is the world's largest vaccine drive. So in sheer numbers, in terms of the scale, why don't you tell our viewers, when you compare this to the vaccine drive across the world, nothing compared to the other countries, but where do we stand and how complex has this process been?
Well, Niranjan, thank you very much for that question. Unfortunately, people, yes, you are right, they don't realize the scale of the problem. When India does something, it's in the scale of not millions but billions.
Yes.
So in a way, it's a problem which is essentially a scale problem, not so much complex in terms of the rules and other things, but in a scale terms, it's a large problem. And fortunately, we have been used to such scales. For example, in Aadhaar, when we were doing Aadhaar, we were doing about 2 million, enrollments per day and sending all that data in a real time at the end of each day. Similarly, now that we are doing UPI, Unified Payment Interface, we have recorded 4 billion transactions in a month of January this year. So I think when we build something, when India builds something, it builds for a scale. It builds for a billion people, and the CoWIN platform is no exception.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's very, very seamless. And just to broad base, looking at the success of this interface and this entire exercise, the way we've come together in the last 1 year, do you look at broad basing this app for all vaccinations across India, beyond
I
just
think
COVID?
it'll all depend on how government takes it forward. But my view is that two things stand out very clearly. One is we have created a digitally verifiable certificate issuance process through this system. So now, after each vaccination, we are issuing a digitally verifiable certificate, which actually is pretty unique. And we are also aligning the standards of this certificate with the WHO standards, with the result that this certificate will become internationally acceptable certificate for air travel and international travel, etc. Even otherwise, also in our country for employment purposes, where the employer may want to see the certificate of both the doses of vaccines having been done or not. I think this is a very, very important certificate. So one is this certificate can be used in a number of situations, and probably this certificate can be expanded to cover other kinds of vaccinations or other kinds of tests also. That's number one. Number two, I think what we have done is also this other part, which is basically recording the real-time vaccination event, which is what we call IVER, Immutable Vaccine Event Record, which basically gives a real-time view of the situation. If you go do our dashboard, which is called dashboard.cowin.gov.in, and like you showed showed your viewers how easy it is to book a registration or register yourself on the platform. You can also show how beautiful how informative the dashboard is, which basically gives a real-time image of the vaccinations being done state-wise, district-wise, gender-wise, vaccine-wise. Every kind of slicing and dicing of the data you can do, and that's actually again a very, very strong and unique point of our country.
Absolutely, and we will do that. We will continue to do that and also educate our viewers. So one last question before I let you go, Mr. Sharma. How soon can all adults begin registering for the next vaccine drive? And what is your message to those who will look to register?
Well, we will be able to open the registration in the next 48 hours. So we are working over time to ensure that we open the registration. However, let me also tell you that while people will be able to register, all adults, they will not be able to get appointment unless they will not be able to schedule their sort of vaccination unless the entities which are going to do vaccination of 18 years and above, those entities register on the CoWIN platform and publish their timetables. Put it this way, you can't get a reservation in a train unless you have the train's timetable. And that timetable will have to be published by the entities who are going to do vaccination. And therefore, we are requesting all the entities to please register on the CoWIN platform. The registration is pretty simple. You just have to inform the district immunization officer of your district, and he will create credentials for you, and thereafter you can plan your sessions, you can schedule your sessions, you can publish your vacancies, and all details can be published. Now, in fact, we are also making it possible for people to publish the details of the vaccines they are administering, so that people can, accordingly make reservations on those facilities.
One last question.
My request to your viewers also is through this platform, through your channel, is that people should make registration. Otherwise, there will be a huge crowd and a stampede probably on 1st of May,
Yes.
because everybody would like to get vaccinated. It's better that people, do things in an orderly manner. And one of the ways to ensure order is to ensure that everybody goes, suppose there's a vaccine center which has got capacity of 200, then, they will take 200 registrations, 200 appointments, and thereafter you can get appointment next day onwards. So this is how it should be done, so that there's no crowding on the centers. People can do AEFI, the adverse impact kind of treatment can be done in case that happens. So things must remain orderly, and that can happen only when everybody does, appointment goes by appointment, then it will be better. Otherwise, walk-in can create all kinds of issues.
Absolutely. One last question, a question that's just come in. What about the glitches on the app? Some saying that there are minor glitches. Tell us, one, what you're doing about that, and secondly, tell us a little bit about the back-end team that has helped build this gigantic app to help support over 1 billion people.
Well, look, first of all, this glitch story must actually now conclude, because every time, an app is launched, people talk of glitches. There have been absolutely no glitches in the last 2 months, and I can guarantee you that. So that glitch story is actually is a non-story now, put it this way.
Well, I haven't faced any glitch, so let me preface that I haven't faced any glitch. Okay, go ahead.
People are facing glitches. Somebody is saying, I registered myself with my wife's Aadhaar number. Now, how can I correct the Aadhaar number? I mean, it's that these are not the glitches of software.
Yeah.
These are the glitches of the data inputs. So that we must specify. Now, so that glitch part is not there. Secondly, I must say that our team has really worked very, very, intensely on this project, and we have. From the word go itself, we have ensured that the application is for the people. People are not for the application. And therefore, I think the technology must be very simple to use.
Yeah.
Technology must be flawless. And these guys have worked very hard. The Additional Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Mr. Vikas Sheel, is actually overseeing the entire efforts. Then there is a gentleman called Devrat Nayak of NIC, and I think we have a project team which is actually working, and these guys have not been keeping well, and even after that they have been working. So the credit should go to them, not to me. Thank you.
Absolutely, and congratulations, and let me tell you that we all appreciate the sheer size of this entire exercise is unprecedented. So while it's easy for some to sort of criticize, we believe that it's a mammoth exercise and one that needs appreciation. You just spoke about the circumstances under which the back-end team is working. We stand with you. Thank you, Mr. Sharma. It's a very informative show. We will repeat this again, and we'll also upload it on our social media and across Republic World platforms so that people can get as much information as possible. It was nice talking to you, and all the very best for the next phase of vaccination.
Thank you, Niranjan. Thank you very much for having me on your channel.
Thank you. Our pleasure.